Hey, what is up guys? It's Uniter back again with another Walking Dead video, and I know episode 4 literally came out maybe 2 weeks ago or a week ago, but I wanted to post this video really early because I really do think that episode 5 will come out at the end of this month, and I really do think we're probably going to get tons of trailers and tons of information in the next couple of weeks because this is the season finale of this season, so we're probably going to get tons of content, tons of videos, and tons of stuff from Telltale. And if we do get tons of videos, I will be doing breakdowns on my channel of the videos and breakdowns of the information. So if you guys want to subscribe, if you're watching this from like recommended videos and stuff like that, if you guys want to subscribe, that would be amazing. I do a bunch of different Walking Dead content like gameplay, playthroughs, breakdowns, and stuff like that. So if you guys want to subscribe, that would be amazing. Basically, what I was going to do in this video, as you can see from the title, I'm going to be doing a prediction / discussion video on what we think as a community will happen in episode 5 before we see any trailers, before we see any information, before we see anything about episode 5. So I'm going to hop into the first prediction that I saw from the community. Obviously, I'm going to give credit to every single theories that I get from this video. So hope you guys enjoy this video, and here we go. Let's start the discussion right now. The first theory I saw was by Dr. Dima, and basically what he's saying, he thinks that Clem is going to survive this whole entire episode, which I agree with him on that, because if Clem dies, then pretty much half of the community is probably going to go with her, because she is one of the only characters that is keeping this series alive. And I don't know if Krista or Lily are going to appear in the season finale, or they're going to appear in the next season if there is one. But if they don't appear at all and they're completely dead, then Clem is the only character from season 1 that's pretty much keeping this series alive. So there's that. I agree with him on Clem surviving. Then he says that he thinks that David is probably going to die, which I'm kind of sad about because I really liked David as a character, but I can see why he says that, because David has pretty much been a hothead this whole entire season. So I can see why he could die, because he could probably piss somebody off or piss Javier off, and then they get in a fight and then Javier has to kill David, or something happens. Maybe David finds out that Javier is dating Kate and then he gets pissed, or something happens where David dies. But I do think that David's probably going to die, which again I'm really sad about because I liked his character. And then he also said that he thinks that Javier is going to take over Richmond and pretty much be the leader of a new frontier, or the new frontier. And I think he's going to be a really good leader. I agree with that statement, because if that happens, that would actually be pretty badass, because Javier leading the new frontier would be really, really cool. And then Javier with like the little, what's it called, the tattoo or whatever they call it, the brand on his neck. That would be badass. So there's that. I agree with him on that. And then the last thing he said is he thinks that AJ's plotline is going to come together nicely. There's probably going to be something at the end with AJ and Clem, like some emotional moment of Clem and AJ meeting up again, and maybe AJ talks to her or something like that. But I agree with him on that thought as well. I'm pretty much agreeing on this whole entire thing. And you guys can see right here, he's got a 21 points. So a lot of other people agree with him on this as well. But that's really all I wanted to talk about for this theory. If anybody wants to talk about this theory or have your own discussion in the comments, you guys can do so. But let's move on to the next theory right now. The second theory I have right here is by Mr. Bellman, and you guys can read it on the screen right here. Basically, I'm just going to summarize what he said. His first point, he said that he thinks that Eleanor will save Kate, and then there's gonna be like this confrontation between Javier and Eleanor, whether or not to accept her forgiveness for betraying you, or not accepting the forgiveness. Maybe you're able to kill Eleanor if you actually really hate her, or really don't accept her forgiveness. But there's that. Then his second point says that something about the Ava or Tripp situation, where if you do pick Tripp and Ava lives, there could be something like, if you chose to go with Kate, Ava's going to be mad at you. But if you chose to stay with Ava and stay with David, she's not going to be mad with you. So there could be something with different choices you chose in the different episodes. So there's that. Could be someone with Ava or Tripp. And then for his third point, he said that there's probably going to be a Joan and Clint scene in the beginning where they're killed right away at the beginning of the episode. And he also thinks that David is going to be a goner, just like the first theory. He thinks that Clem and Javi will survive the season. So there's that. There's our first theory that thinks that Clem and Javier will survive the whole entire season. He thinks that Conrad will get another death, like a determinate death, where you can keep him alive or not keep him alive. But he's probably going to die because this is the last remaining episode. This is the season finale. I don't see him surviving any longer. So he might die in the season finale. Who knows? Maybe he'll survive the whole entire season. And then he thinks that Jesus will return with more comic book characters, which means that Ezekiel could show up. Maybe Rick, that would be amazing. Probably not. But he thinks that a lot more comic characters will show up and probably help out Javier and all that. Because I really do think that Jesus is going to return. because it was kind of weird that they only showed Jesus for a couple episodes and then he just totally disappears. So I think he will come back with some group or something at the towards the end, maybe in the middle, to help out Javier or something like that. But there's that. There's the second theory. Now we'll move on to the third and last theory of this video. Here's the last remaining theory I have for this video. This guy's name is Kai Lau, and basically what he's saying, he thinks there's gonna be a happy ending, and I actually agree with him on that, because there has been some emotional endings for like season 1 episode 5 and season 2 episode 5. So I feel like they're gonna change it up and have a happy ending for season 3. He also agrees that Jesus has to come back because, like I said, he randomly disappears. So that has to be a reason why they actually put him in this game, because he has to come back. He has to come back with Ezekiel, maybe, like that one theory said, or something. Then he says that Kate is definitely going to be alive, which I actually agree with him, because if you think about it, in episode 4, they give you that choice to pick to be in a relationship or not with Kate. So why would they add that if she's just going to die the next second? There has to be something where Javier and Kate maybe date all the way to the end of the series or something like that. But I feel like there's something more with Kate. She's probably going to live. Then he thinks that Conrad is going to die unless you didn't kill him already. He's going to die. So there's that. He thinks that Conrad is not going to live throughout the whole entire series. And then he thinks that, like I said in the beginning, he thinks there's going to be a happy ending. He thinks that we're going to take Richmond back. And then he also says that maybe season 4 is going to start off with Clem and Gabe being the main roles. I don't know how that would work out, but it could happen. I don't know. But that's really it. That's the last theory I really wanted to talk about for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll put the link in the description for you guys to check out all these theories and just check out the Reddit in general. So there's that. Thank you guys for watching. I'll probably only do 2 videos a week up until we actually get some more information. So hope you guys understand that. I pretty much just want to take a break from YouTube until we get some more information about the season finale. So there's that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Drop a like if you really did enjoy, and I'll see you guys later for more Walking Dead videos. Peace.